BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been convicted of the murder of George Floyd, the African-American man whose death sparked worldwide protests against racism. After a 3-week trial, the jury found him guilty on 3 counts of murder and manslaughter. The verdict is being hailed as an historic moment for race relations and police accountability in the United States, a point made by the President, Joe Biden.
This is a time for this country to come together. There can never be any safe harbor for hate in America. The battle for soul of this nation has been a tug of war between the American ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh reality that racism has long torn us apart. So we can't leave this moment or look away thinking our work is done. We have to listen. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Those are George Floyd's last words. We can't let those words die with him.
The Floyd family have welcomed the verdict as an historic moment. One of George Floyd's brothers, Philonise, said he would continue to fight every day for all victims of racial injustice.
I'm not just fighting for George anymore. I'm fighting for everybody around this world. Yes. I get calls, I get DMs, people from Brazil, from Ghana, from Germany, everybody, London, Italy, they're all saying the same thing. We won't be able to breathe until you're able to breathe. That's right. Today, we are able to breathe again.
The Floyd family's lawyer, Ben Crump, said justice for Black America was justice for all of America.
America, let's frame this moment as a moment where we finally are getting close to living up to our Declaration of Independence, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equally, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that amongst them are life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Where America, that means all of us. That means black people. That means Hispanic people. That means Native people. That means Asian people. That means all of us, America.
Lawyer Ben Crump. Crowds cheered on the spot where George Floyd died when the verdict was announced. The veteran civil rights activist Al Sharpton said it was a win for all those who took to the streets demanding justice. You're listening to the World News from the BBC. All 6 English Premier League football teams involved in the newly announced European Super League have now withdrawn. Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United and Tottenham joined Chelsea and Manchester City, which said they were pulling out earlier. The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson had said he hoped other clubs would follow Chelsea and Manchester City's example. Reports from Spain suggest Barcelona and Atletico Madrid are also withdrawing. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has invited President Putin to meet him in eastern Ukraine in a televised address to the nation. The long-running conflict between Kiev and pro-Russia separatists there has been rekindled in recent weeks. Russia has dramatically increased its forces along the border. From Kiev, Jonah Fisher.
On Wednesday, Russia's President Vladimir Putin is due to give his State of the Nation address, and the rising tensions with Ukraine are almost certain to feature. This video was Ukraine's president getting his rebuttal in first. Volodymyr Zelensky said millions of lives were at risk before challenging President Putin to meet him near the conflict zone in eastern Ukraine. That's likely to be a non-starter. For the last few weeks, Russia's leader has been refusing to even speak to President Zelensky on the phone.
With less than 5 months until US troops leave Afghanistan, a top American general has said he has grave doubts about the reliability of the Taliban. Marine General Frank McKenzie, head of US Central Command, told a congressional briefing he was not sure the Taliban would uphold the agreements they've made. The United States is joining international efforts to cut greenhouse gas emissions from global shipping by 2050. Its climate envoy said that Washington would help to deploy the technologies needed rapidly to reduce emissions from shipping to net zero. BBC News.